our life. I am here in my home studio in Alabama, and I'm super excited today because I will be sitting down talking about substance abuse. So let me give you a quick little removing the mask back. If you were not aware, 2021 and the opioid crisis and drug abuse is at its most highest level. So today we're going to sit down with my awesome guest right here in Alabama and try to peel back the mask and get an understanding on substance abuse for our young youth from age 12 to 20. So we'll be right back. We are back and I have my phenomenal guest with me, Miss Bernice. So please give her a warm welcome. Thank you for being here with me today.
You're quite welcome.
So we're going to jump into this because substance abuse for our youth in 2021 is horrible.
Yes.
To me. And that's my opinion. How long have you been in this field?
Well, actually, I've just started working with this company, which is the second largest company in the southeastern United States. And they are a health provider, and they're stationed out of Mobile for right now, my company is. And I've been working in the preventive area with this company, and we're working with youth, 12 to 20, and we are preventing them from drugs, alcohol, all the things that they can get involved in, peer pressure and all that.
So let me, before we go deeper into that, what inspired you to get into that?
Well, I worked with children for 30 years. I was in the school system for 30 years. I worked as a teacher, counselor, assistant principal, and administrator. I worked with students who had problems in alternative school, who had problems in the regular schools. And I was invited on a trip to Washington to lobby for the opioid crisis.
Yeah.
And while I was there, I got a chance to meet people from all over the United States, and it was just so interesting because I knew some people who were abusing and who were using opioids, and so it was something that I just felt really passionate about.
Did you, over your years of working with the youth, did you see a lot of opioid abuse, a lot of drug use back then, like we have it now? No. Actually, I did a summit one year, and I asked the students in the crowd. I said, if I were to ask you, who do you know that were using drugs, how many hands would I get to come up? And at that particular time, this was like in the 80s. And at that particular time, I didn't have very many students to do that. But in my last years of working at the schools, I asked that same question to students, and every hand went up. Because everybody knows.
Because, yes, it is so prevalent now, and with social media, it has even become more prevalent.
Because from my understanding, you can actually order the drugs online and have them sent to the house, and I don't know how they order it, but evidently they don't ask for age, they don't ask for none of that information that you would think. Well,
they tell you that you need to be a certain age, but who's going to
actually check
that? You know, and so what they're doing, they're getting their mother's or parents' cards, and they're using those cards to order things without their knowledge. So our thing is that what we do with our company is that we do preventive measures, and we disseminate information for these students.
So before we go deeper into that, I'm going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive deeper into what your clinic actually does with the preventive measures to help the kids. So we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Willie Adolph of the Adolph Group at Equity House Properties. I'm here today to talk to you about home purchasing. You know, a lot of times people want to know, where do we start, when do we start, how much do we need to save, what our credit score need to be like, can I really move in now? And the answer is yes. The thing is that you want to get pre-approved first before you even go house shopping, because what you wouldn't want to happen is that you find the perfect home, but the bank won't qualify you for your mortgage. So always get pre-approved first. So find a good lender, which we have a lot of resources for you on that. Second, you want to make sure that anything that's on your credit, if it's something that you can work with, let's work with it, because everything on your credit, you know, it depends on what it is for each mortgage company. And third, once you get that pre-approval, now it's time to go house shopping. Now, Willie, what about the money, the down payment and things like that? Well, they have a lot of programs that's out there. So based on your credit will depend on the down payment assistance that you can receive. But we do have a lot of resources and a lot of things that can help you. And everyone with the Adolph Group will hold you by your hand and walk you through the whole process. So you can contact us at www.theadolphgroup.com or 281-451-7087. And remember, when you have will, you have a way.
So we're back now. So I want to go into what exactly does a clinic do. Is it you guys try to attack the issue before it gets too bad, or before they even take that step to go to drugs, or once they're in that process, do you guys try to put them somewhere to get them the necessary help? Break that down for me.
Okay.
Tell me kind of how that process looks.
Okay, since I'm working in the preventive area, what we do, we disseminate this information to the schools. We go into the schools and we work with counselors and curriculum specialists. These people who have firsthand association with these students. And what we do peer helper programs. We choose students who will work to help other students, to talk to other students who are having problems.
So are these some of those students that you choose, were they on drugs? Were they formerly?
Well, what we were trying to do is not label. First of all, we were just trying to have a positive type thing, because once you start labeling the students, as you know from my experiences, students will rebel.
Yeah.
They'll rebel, and what you do, you come to them with pertinent information and let them know what these things can do to their body, how harmful it is. And then you have to let them know what type of damages it causes inside of the family makeup. It causes depression. It causes them to not have a relationship with their parents, not have relationships with their siblings, even in the household. And sometimes we work with these students because they are getting these things from their parents. So we're having to educate parents too. And we do that through a program that we have called the Strengthening Family Program, where we invite the families to come out and we teach them about good health, about how to talk to their children, how the children should talk to them.
I like that. I like that. Now, I know you said you guys go into the schools. So how did that work out when schools were closed throughout the United States because of COVID? How did that work out?
Oh, well, it was a challenge. Trust me, it was a challenge. But we worked with the schools to make sure that they had access to internet capabilities. And therefore, we did Zoom classes.
Okay.
And luckily, I am the coordinator for Marengo County, and all of my schools were internet capability, had capabilities for internet. So I had the opportunity to meet the classes via Zoom and to see the students. And we did have a peer helpers program where we had all the schools connected together so that they could see what the schools were doing. You know, each school was doing individual. And so that was really nice.
So, from my knowledge, with young people are very intelligent. I think we can learn a lot from them. They can learn a lot from us. But most of them think they know everything.
Yes.
And we just dumb, basically. So, how willing are they to understand and accept that they have a problem and they need to stop what they're doing because it's destroying their lives, destroying everything? How open are they to that?
Well, we try to give them several different types of programs and let them know I think I may not have the years correctly, but over 95,000 students, people die each year from drugs and alcohol.
Oh, wow.
And not only that, about 70,000 die each year with opioids and other inhalants and stimulants. And so therefore, we just try to educate them young. This is the reason why we're targeting that age before they get into that puberty time. So because they're so easily influenced after they pass a certain age in their lives because of the developmental. And this is the reason why we try to get parents to understand how children develop and at what time is really important to give them that information.
But do you think it's social media, peer pressure, or are they just want to try something just to be trying it? Where do you think it comes from?
All of those.
Because from what when I look at a lot of young kids, they're still trying to find out who they are. They have no direction of where they're going. They're trying to fit in with this group, that group. And for me, I never was a person to fall into peer pressure. I never was. So I don't understand when kids fall into peer pressure, and I'm like, why do you know? I don't understand that. But so where do you guys think it comes from? The social media, the lack of parenting at home, because you have a lot of parents that don't want to be friends, and you can't be. I don't care how you want your child to be open with you. I feel when you're a parent, that's first, and you're a parent and you're not their friend.
Not their friend.
You're never their friend.
That's correct.
To me, because I know I wasn't my mom and it wasn't my friend at all. At all whatsoever.
Well,
so where do you
all
think
of the above.
It comes from all of them?
All of the above. There is no one panacea for it. You cannot just diagnose where it comes from just for one thing. Because it can come from peer pressure. It can come from the fact that broken homes. It can come from disorders, mental disorders. It can come from, and I tell you, social media is the devil's workshop to me.
Well, I said that. I said that about the internet when the internet first came out.
It's a really wonderful tool if you use it correctly. But we find ourselves that we don't have times for our families when we're on the phones. We're constantly on the phone. We're not teaching our children to come to the dinner table and eat together and talk about their day like we did when we were growing up. So, you know, when they get home from school, they run and get their phones. That's what they're doing.
Or they see another parent doing drugs or drinking, and they feel that's okay to do that as well.
So it's so many things. You can't just say one thing. And so we talk about these things with these students when we work with them. And we not only do we provide the information for them, we like to ask them to tell me what's going on with you. If you don't want to talk about it with your parents, just find some trusting adults and talk with them about it, because you got to have someone to talk to. And we find that your peer is one of the really best tools to use, because, you know, they share things with each other. They share things. They share all things. Girlfriends, you know, what they did last night. Boyfriends, what kind of shoes to wear. You know, all these things they share together, but they're not going to share it with you.
No.
And so what you do, you get your other peers, and then they can work along that, and we hope that that will help. So we try to provide a safe and comfortable environment for them. When we go out, we have to make sure that we're professional, that we don't judge anyone. We allow them to be whomever they are, and we give them, you know, good points on that. So that's what we do. And we also do the drug take back day. There is a national drug take back day.
Drop your drugs out. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
And
I've seen that on TV one time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, well, fortunately, we had a drug take back day this year here in Marengo County. It was held at one of our Walmart stores, and we didn't get very many drugs taken in, but we had the opportunity to disseminate a lot of information. That was good.
Okay. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to close out the show.
Do you have less than perfect credit? Are you getting denied for loans and credit cards? Well, contact us today for your free consultation and learn the secrets of financial freedom. We can help with late payments, collections, judgments, bankruptcies, will, trust, and more. We get results. Let us help you. For more information, contact Nikki Ferguson at 281-788-9462.
$100 on chicken nuggets?
$100 on chicken nuggets? Really?
How'd you get in my house?
I'm with Wisdom Tax.
Wisdom Tax, so you can help me with all of this.
Most definitely. Looks like you need help in bookkeeping.
So what about maximizing my refund?
We can only maximize your refund if you get organized. Here at Wisdom Tax and Financial, we teach you how to be free. 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 Free.
Free? Awesome. So I can be free of these receipts.
Most definitely. Please give us a call.
Thank you. Can you free yourself out of my house, please?
Only if you promise to give us a call.
I'll give you a call. So I can be free.
Wisdom Tax. Learn to be free.
All right, we are back, Miss Bernice. Give me some words of encouragement that you want to share with parents, kids, and the school system, I would say. The community.
The community.
In regards to substance abuse. So whichever you want to start with, parents first, kids first, or the community, whichever one you want to start with.
I want them to remember that children are our prized commodity. That's the main thing. And they're our future. Just like we were our future when our parents were coming along, and that we're going to have to do everything possible to curtail the drug epidemic in our schools, in our communities, and in our homes. And parents, we have to understand that it takes a village. We can't do this alone. And there are some agencies that are out there to help you.
Exactly.
There are many agencies out there. You just have to get out there and look for them. Nothing is just going to come in your hand. I'm going to leave you with something. It's like Dr. Martin Luther King said, and I quote.
You better go ahead. Yeah, here it is now.
I don't want to forget it. If you're not willing to die for something, then you're not fit to live. So you got to be willing to do everything possible. And if I must say, you're going to have to continue to teach your children to stay with God, stay in the Word, trust Him. When they go off to school, don't allow anyone to tear you down and to make you succumb to the pressures of drinking, doing drugs, or self-medicating yourself. And one of the biggest things that we're dealing with now is suicide.
Yeah.
We don't think that our children are you know, doing, you know, committing suicide, but they are.
So can I tell you something on that?
Yes.
My great nephew, 15 years old, January 4th, 2020, hung himself in his closet. His mother found him. It just made the year 2021.
At some point, we're going to come out of these masks, like you said.
Yeah.
We're going to come out of these masks, and we're going to be able to hug each other again. We're going to be able to, like I tell my members at church, you know, you may not be able to hug each other, but you can hug each other in your hearts.
Exactly.
So keep everything in your heart. Just know that you are worth something. It doesn't matter where you live. You can live in New York, Washington, California, wherever. You can live in my town, like a small town like New York, who has less than 12,000 people there. But it starts at home.
Yeah.
Spreads to the community, and then it spreads abroad. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can be part of the solution.
And then one thing, and it's the last thing I'm gonna one thing you just said, know your worth. Know your worth. Kids need to know that they are worth something other than what they're being told. So that's definitely. But I want to say thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with me today.
Thank you for inviting me.
While I'm here in Alabama.
And I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to know that women are doing great things in life.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So if you need any information on this guest, contact the Our Life TV Show at ourlifetvshow@gmail.com or contact the OnPoint Network. Guys, until next time, always empower, encourage, pull up to the table without fear, with confidence, and continue to remove your mask.
Amen.
All right, quiet on the set. 3, 2.
I thought you were gonna say 1.
I ain't never said 1. The whole time I ain't never said 1. I just point to you. You know what? I'm gonna start doing bloopers on you. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Bloopers. Straight at the end of your
She
show.
gonna make me come out here so I can act
Need
up.
to, cause she couldn't
Y'all
tell
know
me
I
already.
can act up. I be in my best.
Do you know I had every show I had 10 minutes of you cutting up that I deleted.
I'm on my best behavior. Don't try to see me on my best behavior on social media. When do I act up? The lies they tell.
Quiet on the set.
I know now you're on the same.
3, 2.